Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Stash, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Stash's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give while we're working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. And the correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Stash has been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we will show you how to properly put that collar on and use it during your one-on-one lesson. Now Stash is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, which is where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling, and heeling is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Stash take off doing that now, and the command that you're going to give is Stash heel, and you're going to simply start walking, and Stash should fall in line, heeling appropriately on your left-hand side, which means he should be keeping pace with you, and he should not be lagging behind or lunging ahead on that leash. If he is to do so, you tell him no, tug and release on the training collar, and repeat the command to heel. We've also gone ahead and incorporated an automatic sit into the heeling exercise, which you just saw occur there, which means anytime you're out walking with Stash and you stop, he should sit nicely at your left heel position. If he does not automatically sit, tell him no, tug and release towards the rear on the correction collar, and give the command to sit. The next command they're going to demonstrate for you is the stay command, and it's a hand and voice command. Use the open flat of your left palm in front of his muzzle and the one-word command to stay, and walk out to the end of your leash. Stash should remain seated and should not break from this position. This is a great command to practice often to help build up his ability to sit and stay for longer periods of time. And with this command, you want to start at 30 seconds, and with his continued success, you'll increase your intervals over time, working up to a total of 3 minutes for your long sit stay. When Fred returns back, he's going to walk all the way around in a counterclockwise motion, returning so that Stash is once again on his left-hand side. He gives him a little pat on the head there, which you see as verbal reinforcement. You want to make sure that you're keeping it fun and motivating for Stash to work through his commands, and you do so by using positive reinforcement, whether it's verbal praise or physical praise. Fred leaves him in another sit-stay, walks out to the end of the leash. And this time they're going to demonstrate the recall or the come command. Call Stash in using his name in a friendly voice. He should come in and sit directly in front of you, and then heel him around the right side of you, around the back, returning to your left-hand side, sitting nicely. And they'll demonstrate that again. Leave him in a sit-stay, out to the end of your leash. Call him in using his name. He should come in and sit directly in front of you and around the back to your left-hand side. Good boy, sitting nicely. They're going to be using your commands every day in your everyday situations and activities and your schedule. You want to make sure you're practicing those commands both indoors as well as outdoors to generalize in both environments. You're also going to want to make sure that you pick an area that's distraction to little distraction free at first. You can get comfortable working him through his commands, and you can start to incorporate distractions into your training sessions. Now the next command they're going to demonstrate is the first of our down commands, and it's down from a heel position. Again, use the open flat of your left palm straight down towards the ground this time, the one-word command to down, then give the stay command and walk out to the end of the leash. And of course with the down stay, he should remain laying down in this position. And practice this one very often as well to help build up that ability to down stay for longer periods of time. And again, start at 30 seconds, and with his continued success, work up to intervals of 5 minutes for your long down stay. And Fred's going to return back, again, counterclockwise around him, so that he's in heel position again. Like I said, you'll be practicing your commands throughout the day and incorporating them to your activities. You also want to make sure you're setting aside 10 to 15 minutes every day to work Stash through his commands in a formal obedience training session, such as this video here. It's great practice for the both of you, and it will help greatly with the transition back into the house and learning new rules. Fred leaves him in another down stay. We'll give them a moment to hold that, and then they'll demonstrate that recall or the come on command from the down position. Gets up and comes in. Great job, Stash. Around the back on your right hand side, returning to your left hand side. Now they do have one last command to demonstrate. That is our second of our down commands, the down from a heel position. I'm sorry, down from a distance. And you'll leave Stash in a sit stay. Walk out to the end of your leash. And from the end of the leash, use your right hand to give that down command. And you should drop into the down directly where he is sitting. We've demonstrated for you today all the obedience commands that Stash has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Stash, and we thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.